Hi, everyone. Welcome to Navigate Life Mindfully. This is episode 14, Living Intentionally. I'm Ron Demonet, and my goal, as always, is to show you how we have much more control over our lives than we think we do. We are not victims. And in the process, I'm going to introduce some simple tools we can use every day to navigate life with more ease, and then bring about some of the changes that we really want in our life. If this is something you want to learn more about, I ask that you please like and subscribe to our channel below and come along for the journey. It's going to be fun. So let's dive into this week's episode, Living Intentionally. I went online to get a generic definition of living intentionally. What does it mean? Well, I found several variations, obviously. But the one that I related to and made the most sense to me was, and I'll read it to you. Living intentionally means making conscious, deliberate choices, following through and implementing them, and then taking responsibility for the results. To me, that means taking control of your life. Stop being a victim. If you've watched any of my podcast, you'll notice that there's a common theme that runs through it all, and I say it over and over again. We have much more power over our lives than we think. We aren't victims, unless we just give up and choose to be. But in order to reach that state of being, I believe we have to be very intentional. We have to be conscious of the decisions we make in life. We have to follow through with what we decide to do. Say what you're going to do, and then do what you say. In my life, I found that being intentional can be challenging at times. Now, like everyone, I have good intentions most of the time, but don't always follow through and achieve what I set out to achieve. Life gets in the way at times, and we can get sidetracked. And I experienced that recently. Months ago, I set the intention to record 52 weekly podcasts of Navigate Life Mindfully. That was my goal. And then, like I mentioned a minute ago, life got in the way. Late last year, Hurricane Helene came through and did a lot of damage to our house. And so we're in the process of rebuilding things right now. And the past few weeks have been extremely busy as we're getting toward the end of the project. There are so many things going on, and had to prioritize my time. Ends up that the podcast ended up not being one of the highest priorities. And since it wasn't a high priority, it didn't happen. I put it off. And I told myself, I'll pick it back up next week. Well, several weeks have come and gone, and the podcast just wasn't happening. So I took a deep breath this morning. I had a long conversation with myself, and I said, this isn't acceptable. I made a commitment to myself relative to the podcast, and I need to follow through with it. So here I am. I'm back at it and picking back up on that intention. Not going to beat myself up. Yeah, I fell off the wagon, so to speak, for a couple of weeks, but I'm being intentional. I'm going to follow through, and I'm going to do it. Well, I don't think this is atypical. I bet you've set intentions in the past, just to see them fall by the wayside, right? Have you ever thought, how long do New Year's resolutions really last? Yeah, for most people, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. And then all of a sudden we fall back into old habits, old routines. It's just easier to do it the way we did it. Living life intentionally can be a challenge, and that's just a fact. The upside is that if you can learn to be more intentional, the rewards are tremendous. Got to remember the rewards aren't always immediate, so you have to have the willpower to stick to it. So I'm going to put up just a basic plan for intention setting, and I hope you can apply that to your life. Number one, decide what's important to you. Spend some time, some quiet time. Find a place, sit on the front porch, go to your quiet place in your office, wherever it may be. Get quiet and just ponder what's really important to me. And have a pen, piece of paper, and write it down. Write all these things down. And then after you do that, prioritize them. Okay, what's the number one thing that is really important to me in life right now? Something that I really want to address. Well, pick that top thing, set a goal for it, and focus your efforts there. And start doing it today. What do? Okay, when you decide what it is, put together that plan. And remember, you got to make it simple. You got to make it doable. You got to make it measurable. A plan's no good if it's so complex, so hard, that you get tired of it and it goes by the wayside. A plan also needs to be measurable too. Let's say you want to feel better about your body. You want to get your body stronger, so you make a plan for exercising. Well, let's do it X number of minutes a day, X number of times a week, and then it becomes measurable. Okay, I set 30 minutes. Did I do 30 minutes today? Did I do it 5 times this week? Again, set together a plan that's simple, doable, and measurable. Then work your plan every day. When you get up in the morning, have your plan. It could be something simple. It could be on a post-it note that's sticking on your computer screen or whatever. Just take a look at it and then work it. Fifth thing is reflect on your progress every day. At night when things get quiet, maybe just before you go to bed or as you're in bed, just before you go to sleep, reflect on that plan and reflect on your progress. How's it going? Are things happening the way you plan for them to happen? Is it just too difficult? Maybe I can't do 30 minutes of exercise 5 times a week. Maybe I can only do 50 minutes. Well, maybe you course correct a little bit. But think about it and do that course correction. Don't just give up and say, nah, I can't do that. I can't do 30 minutes a day. So I'm just going to give up. Just correct your course and stay with it. And the sixth thing is just be persistent. Never give up. Never give up. Keep it up until you achieve what you set out to do. And in the process, you'll create a life-affirming habit that's going to stay with you moving forward. You're going to find you're going to tackle other things in your life, and you're going to put a plan together and you're going to work it. You're going to be intentional about other things. And now you know how to do it. You know how to be intentional. You know how to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. Being persistent and consistent. That's the key. You'll see that it gets easier over time. The rewards are going to make you stick with it. I remember the words of John C. Maxwell. He's a famous American author. He said, intentional living is about living your best story. Think about that. We all want to live our best story. So let's set the intention and do it. So now let's talk about your assignment for this week. Every week I give you a little assignment, something to do. Well, your assignment this week is going to be relatively simple, just not necessarily easy. It's going to be decide what aspect of your life needs attention right now, and then set an intention for it. Like we said a minute ago, develop an action plan and just start doing it. Be persistent. Stay intentional. Stay intentional until you achieve that goal. You can do this. So next week, in our next episode, we're going to be talking about attracting. What is it that you want more of in life? What is it that you want to attract more of in life? We'll talk about that a little bit more, and we'll talk about some effective ways to make that happen. So I'm going to wrap things up for now. Remember, like always, 2 very simple things that'll make an immediate positive change in your life. Learning gratitude. Be grateful. Be grateful for the good things in your life you have right now. And they may be small things, but that's okay. Be grateful for them. Remember the saying, the more grateful you are for the things you have, the more you'll have to be grateful for. This isn't just a cute little saying. It's really a state of mind that leads to more good things in your life. Number 2, be kind. Just show others a little grace. This is a chaotic world right now. There's a lot of meanness. There's a lot of rudeness. All you have to do is turn on the news and you'll see mean, cruel, rude people all the time. There's too much of it. Let's don't add to it. Be kind. Be kind to others. And while you're at it, be kind to yourself. I love this random acts of kindness. Today, tomorrow, whenever. Set your goal. I'm going to do 2 random acts of kindness today. And it could just be a simple smile and talking to somebody you don't normally talk to. It could just be opening the door for somebody, getting somebody a cup of coffee. It could be just of anything. But just be kind. So those 2 things, gratitude and kindness, 2 things that'll immediately help you feel better and it'll create more positive things in your life. Well, I'm going to say so long for now. If you have a comment or question, please visit my website, rondemonetcoaching.com, and leave me a message. Or you can send me an email direct at rondcoaching@gmail.com. I'll try my best to get back to you personally, or if not, I'll try to get back to you on the air. I ask again that you please like and subscribe to the channel below. I would really like to get this message out to as many people as I could. I would love for people to stop feeling like victims. I would love for people to understand that they have so much more power over their lives than they think they do. So thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.